of international dignitaries as our guests. There are various attractive facets of the personalities whom you see in front of you. For example, our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Santander, Deputy Head of Mission of Argentina, is a writer and a poet, and we have published some poems and an article written by him in the annual magazine which we are going to publish today after some time. My friends, 5 countries and 3 continents are represented on the dais today, and if you take a tally of all those who are present here, the students especially, you will find that there are people sitting here who belong not only to 23 nationalities, but also to 6 different religions, so many languages, so many different cultures. My friends, the differences are very apparent, but the similarities, if we really honestly try to look for them, are in multiples. And this is my last word to all my students, especially those who are passing out, that let us look for similarities amongst ourselves, and then we can be really good friends. I am very thankful to all the honored guests who accepted our invitation. I thank my colleagues, without whose cooperation and help, nothing would have really been possible. I thank all the students who have done a lot for their presentations and performances at this function. We always receive excellent cooperation from the seniors at the Symbiosis Society and the Symbiosis International University. I am grateful to all of them. My friends, let us together enjoy a beautiful evening. Thank you.
Symbiosis has been a confluence of a large number of international students from all over the world. In addition to being students, they play the role of cultural representatives and goodwill ambassadors of their countries and become an integral part of the Symbiosis family. Keeping in tune with our motto, "Estudeva Kutum Bakam," the world is one family, we move on to the flag ceremony. This is a representation of a strong bond and our reaffirmation of our goodwill towards and respect for all nations. Our cultural representatives will now present the flags of their respective countries to our Honorable Chief Guest. I invite our Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Juan Santander, to accept the flags and cruises.
Afghanistan. Czech Republic. Djibouti.
Go from the side, sir. Go from the side. Go from the side. Go from the side.
Iran. Iraq. Ivory Coast. South Korea. Mongolia. Sudan. Oman. Thailand. Yemen. India. Symbiosis.
Thank you, sir.
Cultural backgrounds come together at ELTIS and form long-lasting ties with one another. These ties are portrayed in our magazine aptly titled Fusion. It's a collection of expression, views, and news through the medium of language. It's enriched by the contributions from both students and faculty members. I now request our esteemed chief guest, Honorable Mr. Juan Jose Santander, Minister and Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Argentina, to release this year's edition of Fusion. From the hands of our chief guest.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, sir.
Very good evening again. It is indeed an honor to introduce our guest of honor, Honorable Mr. Khaled Fekih, Charge d'Affaires, Embassy of Tunisia. After completing his master's in economics and finance, he was selected for a year of training at the Institute of Diplomacy. On completion of his training, his first posting was in India, and he has been here for the past 4 years. Mr. Fekih knows Arabic, French, and English. We are privileged to have amidst us Honorable Roland Mahi as the guest of honor. He is the Chancellor, Embassy of Ivory Coast in New Delhi, India, since April 2008. After completing a degree in law, Mr. Mahi worked as a research fellow at the Directorate of Administrative and Financial Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abidjan. In his notable diplomatic career, he has held the post of First Secretary at the Embassy of Côte d'Ivoire in Algeria, Morocco, and Washington, USA. Other important positions held by him include Research Officer in the Department of United Nations and International Organizations, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abidjan, and Studies Department in charge of International Economic Relations, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abidjan. It is indeed an honor to introduce our guest of honor, Honorable Tekeste Zimoy, Chancellor of Eritrea. He has held the post of Chancellor, Embassy of the State of Eritrea since 2008. In his illustrious career as a diplomat, spanning nearly 2 decades, he has also held key positions such as Director of Africa, Charge d'Affaires, Embassy of the State of Eritrea in Pretoria, South Africa, and Third Secretary, Embassy of the State of Eritrea in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Prior to starting his diplomatic career, he worked as an international journalist for the Eritrean News Agency in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia from 1991 to 93. From 1978 to 91, he participated in the liberation struggle of the Eritrean People's Liberation Front as a combatant fighter and frontline journalist. He is presently pursuing a degree in political science from New Delhi Open University. I would now request him to share his thoughts on this occasion with us.
Good evening. Honorable Dr. S.B. Mujumdar, founder president of Symbiosis, Honorable Professor Shri Sasrubat, Director ELTIS and SIFIL, honorable guests on the dais, and honorable lecturers and students of Symbiosis, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I wish to express my gratitude for being the guest of honor in this auspicious annual day of International Students of the English Language Teaching Institute of Symbiosis. This famous institute has a long history and a recognized reputation of training students from all over the world. Today's celebrations, which is of international standard, is a witness for the contribution of ELTIS towards professionally and efficiently recruiting needy youngsters in language skills. There is no better way to express the importance of education in general and language in particular than the trainees or you, the youngsters and students whom I am addressing today. All of you have come from different parts of the globe in search of knowledge in different fields. In order to achieve your goals, you need to master a medium, English in this case, that is different from your mother tongue. Once you master that medium, it will make your lessons easier and your life less stressful. To do so, ELTIS is the perfect choice and you are in the right place. As thousands of trainees before you have benefited from the teachings of this institute, it is obvious that you will also be a beneficiary. Globalization has made our world a small village, and the trend to make its population culturally and economically united is being manifested in today's celebrations. I believe that the youth in every society drives the wheel of history. Therefore, our future relies on your creativity, hard work, goodwill to bring peace and development to our world so that human beings can reap the fruits of to our world so that human beings can reap the fruits it abundantly offers. The fact that Eritrean students had been and are still beneficiaries of your college makes ELTIS and SIFIL a partner of my country in promoting education for sustainable development on national level. Thus, I will work to promote and develop the bond that already has a solid foundation. In light of the above mentioned bondages, I find it incomplete to conclude without referring the cooperation of ELTIS